Welcome to Dynasty Warriors 6 Empires Part 9.
So the plan was a success.
It starts off like
the
this.
Crimson Flames consume the enemy ranks.
I lose troops. I hate you, Luzun. For now.
I am Shu Huang. I am here to perfect.
Well, my roster's full, so there's no reason for you to come on air. Besides, you suck. As far as Lu Bu is concerned. Anyway, today I'm going to be talking about the menu. That'll be this little system button right here. The menu has several things. First of all, you can save your game, which I have no intention to do until after I'm finished my business here. And you can load, which I should have been doing when I had all males in this particular roster. And of course, you can change the outfit of the created characters. This is probably the first game that ever is able to do that until 7 in February. But if you don't like what your character has on now, or you want to try out the new armors that you get throughout the playthrough, you can go there and do that throughout the, well, in that particular option, sorry. And also there's the music. You can change the music from what you're listening to right now to any tunes. And also there's the tutorial. The tutorial is basically showing you almost everything I've talked about so far. Well, yeah, everything I've talked about so far. And of course the main menu in case you want to get out, because you can't press start and select to go to the main menu anymore as of this game. I mean, granted you have a lot of saves as opposed to Dynasty Warriors 5 Empires and Samurai Warriors 3 Empires. In this game, basically, you have like maybe 10 or 11 saves as opposed to 3. In this game also, you can load to any game you want so long as you saved it. But quite frankly, the menu may or may not be of any concern. If you have if you have the game manual, or if you're watching LPs, hopefully mine, you probably won't even need the in-game tutorial. But just in case you don't have either and you just want to know how to get the game started or how the game works, the tutorial's for you. And as for the music, well,
we shall leave no enemies
to be honest,
troops, advance.
I never bother to change the menu music, because sometimes the menu music is actually soothing, then again it's not. And what do you know, right off the bat they have a runner. No wait, that's an act as suspicious guy. There's a difference, and of all the people to act suspiciously, Zhuge Liang is the person they choose. Oh great, and I captured somebody. Well, at least that's one less officer I have to worry about coming back. But anyway, it's nice that the game actually allows you to customize your characters in the menu and to try on new outfits in the menu that you either unlocked or downloaded.
It seems my strength alone was not enough.
But you can't really change their gender or things like that. Once you start with this character, you're basically stuck with that character the way he is, except for his armor. Or the way she is if you happen to make your character female. Now excuse me for a minute, I gotta stop an annoying nuisance from going into my base, setting it on fire. Yeah. Zhuge Liang was in my main camp just now. Well, yeah, that's right, was in my main camp just now. There is no, he is in my main camp. He was in my main camp just now because I caught up to him and beat him up. Anyway, had I let him go, he would have burnt every base except for the main camp. Pretty sure I've already mentioned about suspicious acting officers.
This base belongs to me.
Thankfully, I got rid of that problem.
A fine display of skill. I am impressed.
But, I mean, they could have had a little bit more options for us anyway. At least we're able to, you know, change the Well, change what our officers are wearing, basically. So you have them want to look cool near the end of the game. Go on ahead. You want to listen to, let's see, Lubu's theme music throughout the menu. It can get repetitive, but at least you'll be able to listen to that throughout the menu. And of course, if you want to save, fine by me. But unfortunately, as far as the main menu, yes, as I said before, you cannot press start and select to go to the main menu. Not in mid-battle and not in mid-strategy. Dynasty Warriors 5, you used to do that, and I don't think you could do that in Samurai Warriors 2 Empires. No, wait, yes you can actually. But the only time you push start and select is when you get into a situation you don't want to be in. And the problem with the menu basically is, so long as it's your turn, you can access it. If the computer takes their turn, there's nothing you can do. That's the one thing about 5 that's the main thing about 5 I actually like, and that I wish would have been brought into 6. If you didn't want to get into any unnecessary defenses, you had the right to press start and select and reload from your last save point before you start your strategy session. In this particular game, your strategy session and battle session comes first. Then afterwards, your opponents take their turns. They happen to attack you, then guess what? You're going to have to go through that attack. Unless you have Calm Before the Storm and Unseen Rules.
Exactly as I planned.
But still, there's just so much things that could have been better about that. There's things that are good about it, like changing characters, and then there's things that aren't good about it. Like the whole thing with the menu. I mean, truly, there are some situations that it will be unfavorable to you. And wait, what the hell? Yeah, I did have the waiting game card, but I didn't think it would actually activate at this point. And let me interrupt my speech about the menu, because I'm about to point out something completely stupid that Past Me has done. Yes, when I pre-recorded this, I forgot that Xiao Hudun was the guy with the most territories. I got a little greedy and thought, oh, I caught this guy. Maybe if I recruit him, maybe I'll get all the territories and try to end this quicker, right? I literally forgot that that one single territory was his, and there was no point in me actually capturing and recruiting the ruler. Considering he also has the same card that I just ditched that one officer for. Yeah, so I basically have rise and fall regardless. Kind of a dumb move on my part. Now see, if I would have caught Xiao Hudun and recruited him, then it would be a smart move. Then it would be also less parts too. But that was a dumb move on my part. I mean, come on, I already had his territory.
I have tamed the tigers that threaten your people. It was unfortunate, but it had to be done.
Unfortunate? There were wild freaking tigers. Oh, and speaking of unfortunate, unfortunately, I've now reached maximum money on my gold. So now, I'm gonna have to fix that problem.
If it's
That's right. I'm gonna actually put it on a generic officer. It's gonna come back regardless, due to the fact that the monetary limit is indeed 99,999, as opposed to it being, I don't know, over 100,000 or like 999,199. For them to cap it like that is just ridiculous. I remember in Dynasty Warriors 5, I had like 143 1,000 gold, and I was able to buy troops, able to my weapons, able to do whatever I wanted to do with that money, and I still had money rolling in. Same thing with samurai warriors. I'm sorry I'm going off subject with the menu, but then then all this stuff is happening before me. There's just a lot of things that needs to be fixed. And from what I hear or seen, 7 fixes a lot of those problems. But what really irks me is they put so much restriction in this game, yet had so much freedom in the previous 2 games.
Do not underestimate the enemy. Proceed with caution.
Forward.
Why would they do that?
Crush the enemy beneath our heels.
Oh, yeah, and here's another thing. In this particular fight, my supply base is right next to the enemy outpost where that guy was pulling a surprise attack. So by the time I get there, it would be way too late. Even if I took the long way around. Which is absolute bullshit.
Continue the attack.
Yeah, see? Even if I took the shortcut or a long way around, that son of a bitch beat me there, because his base was right next to mine. That's okay. I'll take it back. I mean, sometimes that happens. A lot. But mostly on surprise attackers. They can appear anywhere, anytime, in any battle.
That's one less nuisance on the battlefield.
And this time, there really wasn't anybody's fault this time. Wait, no, there is somebody's fault. Because there's like 5 or 6 officers in that particular base, and not a goddamn person stopped this guy. Seriously, why is no one guarding that base? Whatever. I mean, between the surprise attack. Well, the surprise attack's not a problem. You see,
This base in hand, our victory will be
that's all the point of it being a surprise attack. They drop off the radar, and you gotta find them. It can get annoying, and many times, especially when the base is right next to yours.
That's one less nuisance on the battlefield.
But at the same time, it's not that annoying. I mean, it's clever strategy on the computer, but at the same time, it could be so unfair that you could actually find out where they are in the history. Because even in the history, they would have marks where your officers or the enemy officers either captured a base or was fighting or made a declaration of where they are, of having a surprise attack or a suspicion attack or having a declaration of being inspired. No, they don't have those kind of marks when they're in a surprise attack. So you don't really know what they are, where they are. You gotta actually have to guess. Even though, like I said, it is clever strategy, it can be frustrating.
This base belongs to me.
But they could have at least gave us some sort of thing. Like I said, they could have at least gave us some sort of hint. Yeah, I'm stuttering. Sorry about that. They gave me some sort of hint or some sort of clue in the battle history as to where they are. They do no such thing. And now I have to gain back the morale, since my morale literally dropped due to the fact that I lost the base. I mean, it's at half. Jeez. All this hard work. I'll have to kill a lot of people for to actually get that morale back up. And I love this weapon. Despite the fact I love the halberd better, this weapon actually is pretty decent. But I'll talk about the weapons later. Right now, I'm trying to fix a mess that could have been easily avoided had we're able to do things in the menu. Remember I mentioned earlier in the battleground that you couldn't put officers where they need to be, and even then the officers are just gonna stand there and look at the computer like, what are we gonna do now? That's one of those instances. I'm not trying to like customize my game and all, or make it the perfect game.
I better withdraw.
But yeah, the fact it's being a guessing game is all well and good, but if you check the battle history, at least you know where they're coming from, and you can actually counter that.
Alright, let's try this again.
Because let's be honest, people, if you were to do a surprise attack, chances are the computer would spawn right where you're trying to go. And yes, this will happen. Even though the computer's main camp is somewhere off in the distance, sometimes the computer would spawn in the supply base. This problem also happened in the past 2 Warriors Empires games that I have played, especially in Samurai Warriors 2 Empires.
Your defeat will wipe the stain from my honor.
But this one's it's most problematic here. Because they'll somehow, some way, shape, or form bring reinforcements into the fight while you're trying to do a sneak attack on the supply base.
Leave the rest to me.
But what can I say? Some people actually like that aspect of the computer actually being smarter. I'm not saying that it's a bad thing that the computer is smart. I'm saying it's a bad thing that sometimes the computer does tedious things. And by tedious, I mean at least surprise attacks and sometimes the inspired officers. And also sometimes the computer do tedious things in the strategy zone and in the strategy stage and the battle stage. So in short, there's not much you can do because once everything goes into motion, you'll have to wait till your next strategy phase in order to go into the main menu and reload. Just something that Dynasty Warriors 5 Empires and Samurai Warriors 2 Empires, yeah, I'm comparing the games, but still they don't really do as much as this game, do the things this game does. At least in those games, if you screw up or get into an unnecessary battle where you're definitely outnumbered, and oh my god, I have a defector. This guy defected to my team. Even though that's the smartest thing he's ever done, I'm not going to be able to use him. Anyway, with the computer tuning for things like that, and all the things like not giving me a female officer, and having my resources taken, and things like that, I'm not able to go into the menu till after all that is over with, and it goes back into the strategy phase. Or after the council is over with. But back then, if everything sucked for you, all you have to do is just press start and select. You'll be fine. You can just press start and select, start all over again until you actually get it right. Or actually get into a vantage point where nothing's going to screw you over. That was your best way of beating Chaos and Hard Mode in those 2 games. Here, not so much. As a matter of fact, I could play this game on Chaos Modes right now, and there'll be God knows how many times I want to just restart and try again. But that's not going to happen because of the fact that the computer has to take its turn once you press N. And there's really not much you could do about it until the computer finishes their turn. Well, its turn.
Let's try this again.
And yeah, I've repeated it over and over again, but it's true.
That's one less
It's kind of a
nuisance
messed
on
up
the battlefield.
menu system. Not as messed up as setting those guys on fire after everybody's been defeated, but still, it's a messed up menu system. So like I said, you're going to need Calm Before the Storm and Unseen Rules in order for you to make sure that nothing happens, and that if everyone's going away between the events and the battles, then you have to reset. But nonetheless, in the next episode, we're going to continue picking on Xiao Hodun since he's got way too many territories. This is RVMan985. See you guys next time.